Alright, hey, what's up, dudes? This is the Sasquatch here. And I'm going to be giving you a StarCraft 2 commentary on Select here. One of the, I think he's actually ranked #1 in the North American servers, spawning as the Red Terran, and what do you want to call this? The 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock position on Scrap Station. And up on the other side, we have LiquidHayprO. I looked up his rankings. I couldn't find him on the SC2 rankings server, but you know, I've seen him around. He's on the Liquid team. He's obviously a very good player, and you know, this is one of my first commentaries, so I'd like to just take a second to maybe introduce myself. And you know, I am the fucking Sasquatch, dude. So you know, I think I give I don't know, maybe a unique aspect to StarCraft 2 that maybe not a lot of people have seen. I mean, I'm not a pro at this shit at all. I just enjoy StarCraft, and I enjoy watching StarCraft 2 commentary just like everybody else does. And you know, I even thought I'd give it a shot at casting it. So maybe people watch this, maybe they don't. And you know, it's gonna be a good game to watch either way. You know, I think I'd learn more by watching these replays than actually playing. And then maybe by casting a couple games, I'll actually even learn more than just watching or playing, you know. So maybe this casting thing that I'm doing right now, I am probably gonna upload this to YouTube and you know, put it out there for anyone who just kind of wants to watch a game that's, you know, it should be a good game. I don't know, this is probably being casted. It is a very high level game, founded on some Korean website, had to deal with a couple different things, and it looks like HayPro actually went for a 14 hatch, and shortly after, just right afterwards, got his pool. And on this map, this is pretty standard for the simple fact that you are so far away from your opponent. You got to go all the way around, and to really scout your opponent. And Select sees this. He probably expected this, and he's actually got, you know, I wouldn't necessarily call this a proxy barracks, but people call this a Macarax is how I've heard it referred to as. There's been, you know, players out there called, and we got a Marine running back here, try and take out that, prevent that Overlord from really getting into the base too much. And you can see Select is, he saw that expansion, he's pretty much had no way of denying it, so he's pretty much said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and take an expansion for myself. And so he's out of his natural, and of one barracks, you know, that is, I would consider that unstandard play by any means with when you're considering Terran. We've got some Marines out here with an SCV and another Marine reinforcing it, doing a scoot and shoot, trying to take out this drone, prevent him from getting in the base. And let's go ahead and I'll put the, alright, we got these guys coming back to the base now. They kind of just warded off. Maybe, hopefully, you know, a lot of times when you're playing a Zerg opponent, you want to just apply a little bit of pressure. If you sit back and don't show any pressure, they're going to sit there and make drones all day long. And that is not what you want. If you let a Zerg player make drones all day long, you know, it's going to be game over. Because that's what they want to do. And so your best bet is either apply pressure or, you know, like Selected right here is expand for himself, you know. He's got the expansion just completing, and throwing up a couple more barracks and walling off his front basically with that. And he's got 2 gas going. And with this we see a factory going down. And I'm almost willing to bet with this dual gas going and these short flight distances that we are going to see some Banshee play. And that's just my immediate opinion on things, because he knows for a little bit here he can be pretty safe, but we do have some Zergans working down this destructible debris that kind of leads into the natural. And, you know, Select does, this can be easily defended by 1 or 2 Marines right here, up here, and hopefully he saw that with his SCV right there. And as you see, he's moving his Marines down. He's bringing his Marines down, and he's gonna ward away the SCVs, and that's gonna be the it for that. But you know, these Zerglings are really, you know, early game Zerglings. You know, Zerg has, you know, I'm a Terran player myself, and you know, I kind of envy what some Zerg players have as far as early map control. The muting, oh god, I fucking hate mutators with passion. just they're so mobile. That's one thing about the Zerg army is the mobility that it really allows you to have in this early game and then in the mid game with mutas. And that's where the Terran really needs to. I would say the Terran and Protoss armies are typically a little bit stronger than your Zerg army, but the mobility that your Zerg army has is grants you a lot of things. And well, we do see a tank rolling out here from that factory, and we see another one, and we see we've got the siege tech on the way, and still no starport. Let's go ahead and pull up our production screen. And still no starport on the way, so way off my already. I had expected some possible banshee play. You know what? Hang on, give me a second. I'm gonna adjust my sound settings for a second. Just turn down some of these sound effects. Turn them down. A little bit loud when I'm talking in my ears. Hopefully that's a little bit better. And we do see this Overlord coming in here right about the 8-minute mark, and that's pretty standing. Alright, hang on, give me 1 second. God, it's too loud. I'm gonna turn this shit way down. Like I said, this is my first cast, and we did see that Overlord get destroyed, but that Overlord paid for itself when he saw scouting information. So HayprO saw that he is going for a siege tech, and let's see what is his reaction to this. Well, he's throwing down another um, hatchery and going for a spire. Yeah, that's always a good bet. Whenever you're going against tanks, a spire gets Mutalisc out, the short flight distance, easy harass. And 9 times out of 10 I would say, and there's your Baneling's Nest. And you see this so many times in Zerg versus Terran where the Zerg goes for Baneling, Muta, and Zerglings, and the Terran goes for tanks, Marines might for the most part. And actually down here at the high yield we see an expansion going up, hanging out next to this Automaton 2000. And so really, I mean, it has been just kind of pretty much a macro fest. No real action going on here thus far. And the point of the Marines, like the matchup between, you talk about the Muta, Baneling, Zergling combination, is to counter the Mute, because as a Terran you want your Marines to take out all of the Mutas, and you want your tanks to take out all the ground units. And it works out very well that way, as long as your tanks are sieged up. But when you try and move out and you unsiege those tanks, if you have a wall of banelings move in and just mow down your Marines, then you have no defense for these tanks, and that's where the mutas then move in. And so it's like it becomes a cat and mouse game, really, where you want to try and fend off the mutas while you can, while not sacrificing movement, and it becomes a very difficult game. And I think in a lot of positions, when the game turns into this point, it really becomes into the favor of the Zerg. So now, as we see, the Zerg has his gold going up, and he's getting his dual gas in here. That's one thing about going for mutas, is you're so gas heavy. You don't need the minerals when you're going a gas heavy build. You need as much gas as possible. So let's look at our income right now. And so pinging out at almost 2,000. This is absurd for just 10 minutes in the game. These guys are almost at 2,000 minerals per second, and almost between 6,000 and 5,000 gas. I mean, that is crazy. And you're able to do that when both players sit back and just kind of macro up. That becomes a possibility. And both players, surprisingly, that's how these guys are tip-top tier players. They've got almost 2,000 minerals a second, and look at their current resources, below 500. I know it, when I have 2,000 minerals coming in a second, I'm having trouble spending all that shit. And you can see Select starting to move out, take care of some of these creep tumors, because there is just creep. There's an absurd amount of creep all over the map. This is just insane right now, what we are seeing with this creep. And we're gonna see those mules get fended off by this handful of well, I guess there's a couple handfuls really. That's a chunk of Marines. That's enough to take care of, maybe 15 mules or so. So, And we're gonna siege up right here off the creep. Always a very good call. You never want to siege up on the creep. And spreading those wings out. You know, I don't know if he's actually seen that. No, he hasn't even seen the baneling's nest, but you know, I have a feeling he knows it's there. You know, he's spreading those units out. He knows that there's banelings out there. Just because it's such, in this matchup, you always see banelings because you know you force each other into this position almost of the muta tank, the muta baneling ling and tank marine combo. And so now Select getting his third expansion up. And he's actually going to morph that into a planetary fortress just for defensive purposes. And we see a big breach coming through here, taking out a lot of the reinforcing SCVs coming there for the transfer, and Select's having to pull back to his man. And you know, there's quite a ruckus going on back here. Oh, and here come the banelings, just wiping out. See there, that's what the banelings are built for, just wiping out marines. And somehow, I don't know how he's doing all this, but he's got +2 on those marines, and those see his mutas at +1. Wow. You know, I envy players like this. Like, you know, I'm a Terran player myself, and the guy is just off the chain. And here coming a slew of banelings and just wrecking some of these tanks, coming in the missile turret. The marines are gonna take care of those mutas real quick.